Oh, I feel like everyone's going to have the same reaction after watching this. Just, what do I say? I can make a horse noise. It's more of a bull. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. There's a brand new movie on Netflix. It's called Horse Girl. So it's interesting. I need you in the comments down below. Were you excited for this film? Is it not what you were expecting? Because after reading a tweet like this, they probably knew what they were in store for because the trailer gives it away. But if they actually thought this was, that's funny. So a socially awkward woman with fondness for arts and crafts, horses, and supernatural crime shows finds her increasingly lucid dreams trickling into her waking life. And where do I start with this movie? So, I'm not going to say that I hated it. I'm not going to say that I loved it. I'm still thoroughly confused as to what I just saw. There are so many different interpretations of what people can take away from after watching this movie. It's almost like a Donnie Darko, right? We watched that movie. Maybe the first time we watch it, we don't really know what happened, but upon rewatch, you understand certain things a bit better, and you at least have your own answers for what actually happens at the end of that film. And you look at something like what this movie has showcased, and I'm not going to spoil the movie, but I will talk about things in the actual trailer. So she becomes obsessed with the fact that she believes she is being tampered with, abducted by aliens all throughout this movie, but it starts out very subtly and slowly progresses into something beyond what you're even expecting right now listening to me say this. You think you know what happens in this movie. You don't. She slowly starts to lose her mind, and it's also interesting because she is this very socially awkward, interesting girl at the beginning of the film that comes across as sweet and genuine, and I loved her relationships that she was, trying to make throughout the movie. She has a roommate. She has someone that she works under. She finds a guy who shares similar interests to her and is as socially awkward as she is, so they get along great. And she believes that he and maybe a few others begin to get on board with her, so she feels like she can be more open with them, right? Well, then you realize not everyone's on the same page as me. Maybe I am the crazy one, and she starts to believe that, but she still goes full-fledged into her conspiracy theory that has to do with her grandmother, that possibly has to do with, oh, I'm a clone, I'm a this, I'm a that. I don't necessarily know what I am, but as an audience, you don't know what she is either, and you don't know if she is telling the truth or imagining all of these things. And the way that they play with us using imagery on screen, it leads us to believe that she's telling the truth at a point. So you do start caring more for her as a character. But my issue with the film is, one, the fact that I just don't know if it knew what it wanted to be. I don't think it had the balance, the proper balance that, say, a Donnie Darko has, right? It's quirky, it's awkward, it's weird. It was very of its time in a way, but it does stick with you because of the storyline. I don't find the storyline as interesting. I just found it to be something that sounds extremely interesting when you're telling someone the plot of the film, but when it comes down to the execution, there were so many moments, and yes, you have an awkward main character, so you're going to have awkward moments, but there were scenes, it felt like those particular scenes were drug out. There were moments that I think could have been more impactful if the filmmaking did something to amplify that. And not to say that the direction here isn't solid, isn't okay, because I do believe Jeff Baena, who is our director, did a good job. He sustained the intensity and the fact that we just don't have the knowledge to know what is happening all throughout the film. And I mean literally until the last few frames of the movie, you're constantly wondering, all right, what's going on? You're asking questions, and sometimes those are the best films. I honestly like leaving a movie wondering what actually happened there. Is she this? Is she that? And there are questions for sure. And some may think they get answers at the end of this movie, but you still don't necessarily know what's real and what's not because the story is told from her perspective. She's seeing things, she's hearing things that maybe they're there for sure, but we're following along with her, so they may not be there. She may just be imagining these things. And that's the part of the film that, it kept me thinking for sure. It just wasn't as engaging as it wanted to be maybe on paper. It wasn't as thrilling as the concept that I'm telling you right now is. Now, I think the performance from Alison Brie was extravagant, outstanding. I just feel as if this could have been approached from a different way. And I think a lot of people are going to watch this and walk away and just go, what did I just see? It kind of felt pointless. It was too quirky, too awkward, and I completely understand that. And that's why I'm torn with this film, because it made me think. I was interested at points, and then other moments it was dragging on too long. I just wasn't into the story. I wasn't really engaged with any of the characters, and the lack of answers, while intriguing, it's just something that kind of dragged the movie down for me. So you start out with a quirky romantic comedy, and at the end of the film, you don't know what you just saw, but I do believe it will leave some people very intrigued. For me, I thought it was a nice attempt. The execution wasn't all there. Before I give you guys my score, if you enjoyed this video, if you like what we're doing on this channel, talking Netflix every single weekend, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And I'm going a 52%, because I think there's a lot there. There's a lot there within this film that got me to appreciate the filmmaking and the attempt. It just didn't come together for me. But once again, I recommend it. It's a strange film. It's going to leave a lot of people like, okay. So thank you so much for watching. Did you enjoy Horse Girl? Let me know all of those things down below. And stay tuned, because more things to come this weekend, along with an Oscars live reaction Sunday night. Can't wait to do that. I'll see you soon.